first video talking in front of the camera. This is really unusual to me, but I'll do my best to give you 7 advices what you can do before you work and travel in Canada to not run into the same mistakes that I did. And I tried to talk last, so let's get right into it. Point number 1 will be why not to get an agency. I will explain everything in that video that they gave to me. I wanted to have an agency in case something happened, and over the year I found out it's really not necessary. They didn't text me even through COVID. They just asked me if I want to go home or not, because then they would have helped me somehow. But I figured everything out myself, and to everybody I've talked to, nobody said it was the best decision to get an agency, because they really don't do a lot for you. They are overpriced and they probably just give you information. My agency has 4 letters. There's one other big agency that many people went to, many German people went to. But all of them pretty much just tell you how to get a visa and book the flights for you if you want. But if you don't take the flight, you have to pay them a fee because they book you the new flight. And I wanted to do that on my own anyways, because I had different plans. And I only paid them 700 euros to tell me how to get the visa and to book the transfer from the airport to the hostel and to book the hostel. And for all those 3 things, 1 I could have done on my own, and the last 2 they screwed up completely. So I'm definitely not satisfied with my agency, but from other people I can also tell you nobody was really willing, or nobody would get an agency ever again. So let's already get into point number 2, which is getting a visa. One thing my agency helped me with, but I tell you, you can literally do it on your own. I will link it down in the description. You just go on canada.ca and you create yourself an account. When you have set up this account, you have to just follow all the steps. You need to provide them with a resume, with a police record and all that stuff. They tell you on the page what you need to provide, and as soon as everything is in, you go into a big pool, and out of this big pool they pick people. When you get picked, you are invited to go to the embassy. There's one in Bonn and one in Berlin, where you go and provide your fingerprints. And after you provided your fingerprints, this is pretty much the last step. You get a document to show the people on the airport after you have arrived. And with that document, you will get your work permit if anything is alright. But please don't worry too much. I had security and I still worried way too much, because this is pretty much just paperwork, and as long as you never committed any crime or you never lied to this agency at all, they will give you the work permit, because they want to bring people into the country to show them how beautiful it is. While you're waiting for your visa, you want also to get a health insurance. You need your own health insurance because you will be abroad and the country wants you to have one, so you need to provide them with the paper of the health insurance. I can give you 2 examples. Myself, I am an ADAC member, and I got a really good price because I am already a member from a. And this is where my phone battery died, so I will just do a quick voiceover instead of recording everything new. I'm really sorry for this. I just want to tell you that there's 2 cheap ones. ADC is one of them if you are an ADAC member. The other one is Hanse Merkur. Many people from Germany I've met recommended this to me or said they would go well with it. I personally have no experience with the health insurance because I never had any incident, but other people said it is super easy. You just send all your documents from the doctor in and they will give you your money back. So now you have your visa, now you have your health insurance, and you're just waiting for your flight. Get some inspiration. I just Googled, I checked out YouTube videos of other working travelers. You probably found me like this. And I don't know if you feel that way about me now, but when I checked out some YouTubers, I was like, wow, they experienced so many things in 6 months. Did they even have time to work or have fun? They were just traveling. How is that all possible? I was so overwhelmed. But it is totally doable. You go step by step, and then in the end, when you look back, you're like, oh, I've been across the country 3 times, which is really amazing when you look at it in the end. But don't be afraid, just get all those things, those inspiration flying in, and in the end you will have an amazing journey, probably more amazing than every YouTube video you have ever seen, because the more you get inspired, the more you will do yourself. So I began in Toronto, and in Toronto there's the Swap office. Swap is always helping you. I will link them down in the description. Please check them out. You can just email them. I got their contact through my agency. That was probably the only reason why an agency was helpful. The next advice I want to give you is already for when you are in Canada. So when you arrive at the airport, you line up at the migration and you will get your work permit. And with the work permit, you will go to a Service Canada Center. The Service Canada Centers are spread out all over big cities, even in small towns. It's just some paperwork you need to do. You go there and say, I want a social insurance number. You provide them with your work permit, your passport, and everything they want to see. And then in the end, they will give you a social insurance number. This is your own number, and you need it to work somewhere. You need it to open a bank account and many other things. So number 7 is already our last advice, and this is how to open up a bank account. I opened up a bank account with BMO. This is one of the big banks in Canada. You can choose other ones if you see them first. Just inform yourself. You can also go into 3 different branches and look what fits you best. CIBC and BMO are pretty much the biggest one, I think. So you choose your branch, you go in there and you just provide them with everything they want to see, and you get a debit card. With a debit card, you also get your void check. A void check is what every employer needs to give you your money. And with the debit card, you can get your money and pay everywhere. After 2 paychecks, you can also apply for a credit card. And with a credit card, you can do even more things. Please don't use your credit card too much. Don't get into debt. This can really be a hassle. I was in debt once, so only use it for things where it's not possible without a credit card. But it's really helpful to get, because you can get it after 4 weeks of work. You have 2 paychecks. You just go in, say, hey, I want a credit card. They give you a credit limit of $1,000 probably, maybe only 500. But there is some things you may have struggled with if you don't have a credit card. You can also use your credit card from at home, or many people got a partner credit card from their parents. But if you want to have your own one, then just do that after 2 paychecks. They will provide you with anything.